Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Let's see how many people are in the chat. We have, let's see, we got okay. Let's pull up I want to see everybody. I want to pull everything up here. I want to pull everything up so I see everybody. We're going to get started in just a minute. Can you guys hear me good? Hello, Aisha. Can you guys hear me good? Can you guys hear me good? Okay. All right. All right. I'm glad that I'm glad to be doing this. I see here. Perfect. Put this over here. I'm glad to be doing this. I'm glad to see a lot of people showing up. That's the number one thing to getting to where it is that you want to be at, committing first, figuring the rest out later. I'm sure you guys have heard that before. Today is going to be very special. I'm going to see if we could drop as much as possible. I know that we started a little bit behind. I wanted to make sure that we got everybody on and we got all the connections and everything going, because we're going to be streaming this through YouTube, Facebook simultaneously, as well as you guys on the back channel on Zoom. For the people on Zoom, we're going to open this up to Q&As afterwards, and we're going to drop some things for you guys. Besides that, I want to do some giveaways and things like that. And Maryam's going to be coming in just a minute, but I just wanted to open up and I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my background. For those of you guys that don't know about me, then Maryam's going to come in and she's going to explode you guys with information. Okay. So just to give you guys some backstory on me, a little bit of my background. So I actually came up through the entertainment industry. I was a boxer for 18 years. I was a professional, and it took me getting around the right people, getting the right information, having a good set of understanding of exactly what it is that I wanted to do. And in order to have that good understanding, I needed to get around the right people. I needed to be around the best, which I was always huge on. I wanted to be nothing around the best. So throughout my career, I was around nothing but world champions. And it just propelled me a lot more because I got to learn a lot quicker from people that were really doing it. Right. So I transitioned into business because I got to know a lot of different types of, besides the A-list celebrities that I was around. And I mean, people that you would see on, mostly in the music industry, which I had a big passion for. And when I transitioned over the business, it was because I was surrounding myself around a lot of very successful entrepreneurs. And that's when I started the company that I have now, which is a consulting firm. I've had it for about 9 years. We work with Fortune 500s down to companies doing about 2 million, and we scale them. We have 20 different services that we offer them. A lot of you guys are familiar, with Grant Cardone. I'm sure you guys are familiar with him. I'm partnered with him along with Maryam. And how I came across that was I wanted to find something that was really aligned with things that I already had in place that I knew would amplify. And going back to what I mentioned about being around nothing but the best, I knew that Grant Cardone is who I'm talking about. He had a lot of phenomenal momentum behind all the different types of programs and things that he was offering that I saw that would really benefit the customers that I had not already touched already, and the customers that I already had. So I wanted to be able to deliver content at a masses, because you're talking about a guy who's been doing this for over 35 years. I've had my company 9, I've been in business 11. So you see the tremendous gap there. Now, just because I've been in business 11 years doesn't mean that I didn't have the necessary experience to be able to catapult me a lot further because, again, I was around some of the most successful people. I was around 3 billionaires 3 years ago. Grant, one of my mentors, along with Maryam, you know, from transitioning from boxing, I had that mindset where I wanted to be around the best. And I knew that in business, I needed to be around the best to get the most information so I could get to where I is that I wanted to be at a lot faster. So today we're going to be talking about two things. Now, we did a poll of what you think is most important: strategy and purpose. Now, I'm going to talk to you guys on the strategy portion of it. Maryam's going to come in and she's going to talk to you guys about the purpose side of it, that fire inside. You know, what's really going to get you motivated and pumped up and wanting to get to where it is you want to be at. I mean, tremendously. I wouldn't say that's the key to getting it quicker. I would say that's the key to getting you woken up every morning, every day, wanting to do nothing but focus on your attention on what it is that you need to get done. And that comes from understanding your purpose, which we're going to bring her in just a minute. The strategy portion of it, okay? The strategy portion of it, which I'll touch on a little bit before Maryam comes in. So the strategy portion of this has to do with you having an exact understanding. You're having a map. I wrote a book about 2 years ago. It's a very short booklet on sales, and it was called the Sales Roadmap, or it is. It's still on Amazon, and you guys can get it on the website and so forth. The point is that was geared towards people having an understanding of either where they are, just not knowing how to get there, and not knowing how to get there, obviously, because they don't know where they're going. Then you have the other type where they know where they are at, or I'm sorry, they know where they want to be at. They just don't know where they're starting from. So obviously they don't know how to get there. And then you have the third type. They know where they are. They know where they want to be at. They just don't know how to get there. That's where the strategy comes in. You having a solid roadmap, a solid idea, solid understanding. So you could just have kind of like the example I like to use. When you look at the horse races, they have those blinders on. They're not focused on the things that are going on next to them. They're focused on their target. So whatever it is that the other horses are doing, whatever it is that the riders are doing to each other, whatever, they're not worried about that. Those horses have blinders on and they're just focused on getting to the finish line. That's the importance of the strategy. The strategy is going to have you have a clear understanding of how to get to where it is that you want to get to faster. It's like I mentioned a couple of times on Maryam's lives when her and I went live, that, you know, you can have all the necessary information, you can have everything there is, but without that strategy, without that understanding, it can take you a lot longer to get there. The reason why I mentioned that I wanted to be around the best and surround myself around the best and learn from the best is because I understood that that would help catapult me. I would say not only faster, I would say within 11 years, you look at that, that's basically a compression of about 20, 25 years of business experience, just because of the level that I've been around. Right. And that's the purpose of today. We want to help relay the information to you guys to get you guys to have an understanding of how you're going to get to where you want to get to faster. You have so many people out there that give tons of information, but you guys are not asking the number one question, which is when. People come up and they're like, hey, we're going to make you successful. We're going to make you a lot of money. If you jump on this program, we're going to do this. If you buy this, we're going to do this. You know, you're going to get this result. But the number one thing is, and that's what's going on in your mind. Okay, when is this going to happen? You could get all excited and you could all get all, you know, you could get all amped up and all motivated and everything. But that's just going to happen for a short period, because when you start seeing that the results aren't happening as fast as you'd like them to, that's when you start second guessing not only a program, but you start second guessing yourself. But it's not you that needs to second guess yourself. You need to second guess where you're getting your information from. Because there's a lot of information out there that's good. There's a lot of information out there that's good, but not what you need. It's not what you need because it's not going to get you the results that you can get to faster. How many, I see the people in the back chat. I'm going to look on here so I can get some people on, because I'm going to ask a question. How many of you guys, even on the back chat, how many of you guys? Let's open this up. All right, there we go. Yeah. On the back chat. So how many of you guys, wouldn't only like to be where it is that you want to be at a lot faster, but how many of you guys have in your mind competitors of yours? Now, look, I'm touching on different areas, right? So you have people that are employees, you have people that are business owners and entrepreneurs, okay? And then you have people that are in sales, right? How many of you know people that are in circumstances better than you, making more money, in a higher position, have a lot more clarity, and you've been sitting there trying to figure out in your head, how is it where they're at and how did they get there a lot faster? And I'm sitting here and I've been doing this for so long and I'm just going nowhere. How many of you feel that way? You guys can drop it in the chat. Right. So the reason why you feel that way is because there's something that they know that you don't. There's something they know that you don't know. They're getting their information from somewhere that is helping them get to where it is they want to be at and where they have the potential to be at faster. They have clarity, which is number one on strategy. They have clarity. They have a clear understanding of where it is that they need, what they need to focus on and what they need to do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, in order to hit their targets and their goals. Number two is focus. They're extremely focused. In order to be focused, you have to be clear, which is number one, on what it is you need to do to get to where it is you want to be at. And then number three, I'm going to talk about in just a minute, but I'm going to have Maryam come over here so she can, yeah. I know you were.
Oh my God, this is so good. Keep going. I'm coming. I'm so high, guys. Hey, yo. Hi, everyone.
Come closer here so everybody can see you too.
Sorry. Yeah, just 1 second. Thank you for that.
All right.
Can you guys hear us okay?
Everybody say hi to Maryam.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, morning, whatever you are. Good to see you, Arya, and good to see you, Yasmin, as well. Go ahead. Sorry, keep going.
So what focus does is it eliminates distractions, right? So we're going to keep talking about focus here. All right. So you're going to have that clarity, but once you're clear on everything that you need to focus on, okay, once you have that clarity, hey, I want to go. Look, I'm on a road trip. I have to know what my destination is going to be. I can't just go on a road trip blindly, because if I go on a road trip blindly, I might not be prepared for what it is that I need. It's like you're just driving to drive. What happens if you end up in the middle of nowhere after you're driving for so long and you realize that you're starting to run out of gas? And now you've gone so far into the middle of nowhere. Maybe you do know where you're at. Maybe you don't. But if you were to turn around and go back, it doesn't make a difference because you're still going to run out of gas. Guess what happened? You weren't prepared. You didn't prepare yourself. You didn't prepare yourself because you weren't thinking where it is that you were going. If I have an understanding, hey, I'm going to take a road trip and I'm going to I'm going to go to North Carolina from Florida. I'm going to track how many miles it's going to take me to get over there. And I'm going to make sure that I understand that I'm keeping an eye on everything. So that way I know if I need to stop off and I need to get gas, I'm not going to run out of gas. I'm going to make sure my tires are right. I'm going to make sure that I get an oil change. So that way I could start making sure that the things that I can prepare for most likely won't happen. Now, could I run over a nail on the way over there? Yeah. But at least I'll have an understanding of exactly where it is I'm going. So I can prepare for it ahead of time. The problem that happens a lot of times with people, especially business owners, you guys jump into something and you have no idea what it is you're doing.
That's true.
You just dive in. No information, no nothing. I mean, Maryam and I are on Clubhouse sometimes, and when we go on there, I mean, I've been in some rooms on pitch rooms, and you have some people going in on there and they're asking for money. They don't know what they have an idea or an understanding of what they think they're going to use the money for, but it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
This is the clarity that I'm talking about. That focus is once you have that clarity, you start eliminating distractions, you start eliminating things that are not important, and you start focusing on the things that are.
100%.
Number 3 is going to be filling gaps. The importance of strategy fills gaps. Now, what does that mean? It gets you to where you want to get to faster. It's speed. I don't want to wait 5 years to hit my goal and target of, let's say that I'm in sales and I want to be a millionaire. I don't want to wait 5 years to hit my first million. Not if I can do it in a year. How many of you would agree that there are salespeople out there? I'm not even talking about business owners because that's a whole nother story. You guys should be doing that. Let's talk about salespeople. How many of you out there, you guys can drop it in the chat. We're here. Okay. How many of you guys can honestly say, okay, that there are people out there that are making $1 million in sales? And again, you guys are sitting there wondering, how are they doing that?
Mm-hmm. Someone figured this out.
Not only that, they're doing it in a speed that you're not able to comprehend. They made $1 million in one. Look, Grant over in Grant's office, Dave Robard.
Yeah.
So Dave, who's one of the salespeople, who's one of the lead guys over in Grant's office.
Yeah.
He did it in 1 month. He did 1 million in sales in 1 month.
$1 million.
Just him. You have some companies that make that in a year.
Mm-hmm.
He did it as a salesperson in 1 month.
Yeah.
Now imagine if you guys had the right information, the right tools, the right resources to be able to do that, how significantly it would change your life. I'm talking a lot about money, but I want you guys to also think about your health. I want you to think about your mindset. I want you to think about your relationships.
Yeah.
I want you to tie everything into this. Don't just focus on the money part of it. Focus on, hey, how can I have the right strategy so I can have a successful marriage, or I can have a successful relationship, or I can have a successful mindset, or I could eliminate toxicity in my mind. How I could be healthier. What's my strategy? So if I want to not only drop weight, but be healthy, so I could start waking up early with energy, so I could start going to sleep on time, so I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night. So in the middle of the day, I don't have to keep running to the coffee machine to get more coffee, which I do anyways. But regardless, the point is, the point is health doesn't only have to do with your body. Health has to do with your mind. What are you feeding your mind? What are you watching? What are you watching every day? How much of the news are you watching? Because the news is all scattered. Majority of it's negative. Majority of it's gossip. Majority of it's he say. You go on social media and you get a lot more than that. And a lot of it's not even factual on social media. Then you're starting to deal with opinions. Now, how many of you would agree that if you had the right strategy, you wouldn't even have time for all that?
Yes.
Because you'd be so focused. So now we're going to go back and forth. Okay. Now we're going to go back and forth. But before we do, here's what I want to also explain to you guys. We're talking a lot about on this, and I know a lot of you guys got value. And like I said on the live with Maryam earlier, okay, if you guys were not getting value, we would stop this right now and end it for everybody.
Yes.
So how many of you guys want us to stop? Or you guys want more info?
I like that. Shall we stop? Shall we turn this off?
All right, they want more info.
Right.
Here's what I want you. Here's what I want you guys also to do. All right, because we're gonna keep going with this. We might go a little bit over. Matter of fact, I think we will. We're gonna go a little bit over, but then here's what I want you guys to do, especially for the ones that registered, because you guys were committed. But even the ones that didn't, we're gonna be doing a workshop specifically on this next week, and we're gonna drop the details. But what you guys can do is, okay, the dates are already on. The dates are already on the website.
Yeah.
So if you guys go to dannycalafell.com/purpose
Yeah.
and you scroll down, you're going to see the make a payment there, and you're going to drop the payment. You're going to see the value we're giving. This a $3,000 value that we're doing for what is it? $297? $297 for 2 days. You're getting 6 hours of material.
Yep.
Okay, so I want you guys to keep that in mind as we start talking, because we're going to get off of here, and I guarantee you, because it happens every time, you're going to sit there, you're going to want more info.
Yep.
And little things that we're talking about right now, you guys are going to start thinking about. Maybe not now, because that's not the way it works. It's going to happen maybe later on tonight,
100%.
maybe tomorrow.
100%.
You're going to start reflecting back, and you're going to start saying, damn, they dropped a lot. I want more. How can I get more? You go to the link right there. You guys sign up for it, and we're going to dive in deep. Maryam's going to go heavy on purpose and having the fire inside of you.
Yeah.
Because without that fire, you're not going anywhere.
100%.
How can you go on that road trip that I just talked about earlier? What do you think? How far do you think you would get on a quarter tank of gas? What Maryam's about to tell you, she's giving you rocket fuel.
I like that. I'm
Okay.
giving them rocket fuel. I write this one down.
She's gonna give you guys rocket. I said almost them. She's gonna give you guys rocket fuel. Okay. To where it's not gonna take you 3 days to get to New York. You'll get there in 24 hours.
Yeah.
On a road trip.
Yeah.
Or you could just chop in a G5 and get there in an hour or two.
It's up to them. It's a choice by that point. It's gonna be a choice. Yeah.
Instead of or you get a private helicopter. Yeah, but a private helicopter won't take you that far. Private helicopter can't take you that far. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna throw it over to Maryam. I want her to slam you guys with info on having that fire inside, because it's so important. I can't stress to you guys enough. I mean, you could have all the strategy. I went over this. I'm gonna go over a little bit more afterwards, and I'm gonna throw it back over to her. So we're gonna just keep going back and forth. But I wanted her to introduce yourself. For those of you that do not know Maryam, for those of you who do, here's a good reminder. Okay. And I can't stress to you enough the importance of this, having that fire inside of you. And she's going to take it from here. Go ahead, Maryam. Introduce yourself and tell everybody and remind everybody how important you are and what it is that you do.
Yeah, thank you so much, Danny, for this. I mean, it was great that we started the platform with what you cannot hear us. Arya, she does something. You cannot hear me?
No, you got to speak up.
I think you need the microphone closer, because a lot of people in the chat, we can't not hear you very well.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, guys? Now it's okay. Thank you, Arya, by the way, for bringing this to our
Yes, much better.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. So I would like to introduce myself with my purpose. My name is Maryam Al Ali, and I have a purpose. I help others embrace their authentic self to serve a bigger purpose. Everything I do in my life, from the minute I wake up in the morning to the minute I go to sleep at night, is in service of something bigger than who I am. I hope you guys can hear us okay now. Not really?
No, just you have to speak up.
I mean,
You gotta yell.
I have to yell?
You
Oh
have
my
to raise
God.
your voice.
Is it okay now? I mean, I can yell. Is
You
that
gotta
okay,
raise your
guys?
voice.
Someone just need to confirm because this is very important.
No, no, we need you to come closer, maybe to the mic, please.
Okay,
Let's see. Let
you
me
gotta
write.
raise, no, here, just raise your voice. Just pick your voice up and there you go.
Okay, can you guys
Go
hear
ahead.
me now? Okay?
How about now? Can you guys hear her?
No? Arya is
There we
like
go. See, yes.
Arya's shaking her head.
Yeah, we just, when Danny speaks, we
I
hear
mean,
him
I
You
so
gotta
loud.
speak up more.
Okay.
And
I hope you guys can hear us now.
yeah,
Can you?
we hear you just
Speak up
just
like
a
you're
little
up on
bit, but
stage.
better than
Like I'm
before. I
also
think you're
on
There you
fine.
go. You gotta talk like you're up on stage.
Okay, fine.
I think you're
Okay,
fine.
guys. I hope guys, for me, the audio is more important than the video. Can you hear us okay? Drop one in the chat if you guys can hear us okay. Just to make sure everybody is on the same okay, everybody seems to be hearing us okay.
Everybody hears us good. Go ahead,
Okay,
take it away,
perfect.
take it away, take it away.
Let's go. Because again, we're very limited with time and we have a mentorship call to run into as well. So guys, thank you so much for being here. I introduce myself every time with my purpose. Just now,
Come more this way.
Danny gave you a clear understanding of what is a strategy about. When you have a strategy, you have a clarity, you are focused, and you are actually know how to fill the gaps from where you are and where you need to be. However, none of this would happen without having a definite purpose in life. Market Twain says that the two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. If I'm going to ask you right now to drop your birthday in the chat, you will be able to drop your date of birth on the chat, right? What is your birthday? When is your birthday? Write it in the chat. When is your birthday? Great. We have a February baby here. April babies. That's great. April, June, August, November. Nice. August. Great. So you know your birthday. It's very clear. How about the day you find out why? Many of you guys know your purpose. Many of you guys know the date you were born, but you have no idea when is the day you actually found out the reason you are alive for. In Arabic, we say, رب العالمين خلق لعبادته وخلقك لعمارة الأرض. ما هو دورك في عمارة الأرض?
Speak up more.
So basically, the idea of it. Speak up more.
Yeah, like you're up on stage.
Okay, good. So guys, the idea of it is how can you know your definite, how can you have a clarity, how can you have a clear strategy without knowing what your purpose is? Many people, what do? They make the big mistake of going after big, huge goals that is not even their goals. They don't have a purpose. They don't have a clarity. They don't know what is their life is all about. They have no clue where they are headed. And that you're kidding.
There we go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Now you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So again, and because you have none of this clarity, the result is that you don't even know which direction to take. Some people say we're not fulfilled with our jobs. We're not happy with our lives. We don't know what we are doing with our lives. We hate waking up to go to work on the weekday. We love the weekend. Guys, I'll give you a signal that you're not fulfilled, that you don't even have a purpose nor a strategy. If the two reasons you are going to work for is your paycheck by the end of the month and it is your retirement account, you don't have a purpose. You don't have a purpose, you don't have goals, you don't have a strategy. So when it comes to you finding your purpose, it comes to you looking at the three different things. The first thing is, God Almighty, when He created you, He gave you a clear gift. Gifts with an S, excuse me. He gave you gifts, a lot of them. It's so unique to you. Nobody does it more than you do. Nobody knows it more than you do. Nobody is inexperienced in it more than you do because it's gifted. It's given to you. Every single one of you guys, you know what your gifts are. Or some of you guys would say, I'm ashamed of my gift, or I cannot even share it. What will people think about it? So if you want to go ahead and find your purpose, the first thing you should do is be honest with yourself and list down your goals. List down your gifts. list them down, all of them. You have, trust me, you have a lot of them. Some people will claim that they don't, they say, no, Maryam, we don't have gifts. You do have gifts. They're just taking a nap. That's what they do. That's number one. The second thing you should know, it's your passion. Passion is different than gift. Passion is something that you discover during your life. You already found some passion. You are living certain passions in your life right now. And as you go toward your life, you're going to be also getting a lot of different passion or passions with an S. I don't even know if it's English, but we add an S at the end. But here is the thing. You find your gifts, what God Almighty has given you, list them down. You already have them. Your passion, second thing. And third, your values. I don't care about your purpose if it doesn't have any values. I literally don't care. Because I know people who are utilizing their gifts, passion, but they don't have values. This is where you see a lot of different corrupt things happening in the corporate world. This is why people cheat on each other. This is why people are not honest with each other. Don't tell me you have a purpose without having values. You might as well never have a purpose. Because when you have values, you know exactly where you're headed with your purpose. How do you know? How do you know you have values? How do you know your values are values? You know your values are values when they are being tested. You can tell me and brag about, like, I'm honest, I'm loyal, I love my family, I care for others, I love to serve. You can tell me whatever you want to say. But without values being tested, you don't even know how strong that value is. You have no idea how strong that value is. You have no clue how that value would be serving you or not. So what happens is you go ahead and you list down your gifts, your passion and your values. We're going to go deep on that on the 10th and 11th of July, by the way, Danny. So these are when you go 3 of them, write them down, guys. If you choose not to join us on July, at least do your homework. But I'm telling you, people who we don't want this one of these seminars you get something from, or webinars you get something from, and you just leave. At least do your homework tonight, and the people who will be committing for next week are the ones who are actually going to do it. The rest of you, you're going to come up with an excuse or go to bed after this session. I'm sorry for being honest, but this is what actually happens every single time. So what happens? What did we say? Gift, something that God Almighty has given you. Passion, that's something that sets you on fire. And it sets you on fire in a way that you cannot even explain. My passion is different than yours, and you don't borrow passion from someone else. And the third thing is your values. They should have values. What is the outcome? When you find your purpose, when it comes to these 3 different buckets, you're gonna get something as a result. You get paid. You get paid. This is where strategy comes in. Some of you guys, you think, oh my God, I have amazing gifts. I know what my passion is. I know what my values are, but they're not paying me because you're not doing whatever it takes. You're not doing whatever it takes. And the first thing for you to find your purpose, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself that you're not utilizing your gifts, passion, and values. I have a lot of friends who I have been around for a very long time. They are in a career that they hate, that they cannot even wait to leave. They can't handle it. They don't want it. They don't want to be part of it. They don't want to be part of it. They don't want to be part of it because they're not utilizing their gifts. They are ashamed of their gifts. They would say, for example, like, I am good at for example, I can draw, or I'm good with colors, but I don't want to show this because I'm a finance manager. My people will be laughing at me because they see that I'm good with colors. They'll be like, why don't you just go ahead and paint something? So the first thing you do, gifts, passion, and values. And where do they come from? If you want a hint, and this is what we will help you with in next week, but if you choose not to come, it's totally up to you. But here's the thing, the committed will be with us next week. They all come from the past. It's not something, purpose is not something you discover, it's something you find. Purpose is not something you discover, it's something you find, guys. You find it. You find your purpose. Your gifts, you've been doing them all your life. Your passion, you have been living them all your life. and you're gonna find more passions as you go through life. And the third thing, your values. You want to know what your values are? Look at your past. Everything is in the past. Everything. As I mentioned, it's not something that you discover, it's something that you actually find. When you find these three things, the result is your purpose will pay you. You will not complain about being in the wrong career. You will not be complaining about being in the wrong position. You will not be complaining about being in the wrong industry, because then you're going to have to make the bold decision. I made the bold decision. I made the bold decision. I studied accounting and finance, ladies and gentlemen. In life, I was 17. And think about it. At the age of 17, we are expected to choose a major in life that will determine the rest of our lives. You are making a choice in 17 to study business, IT, education, whatever you're studying in college. And that major is supposed to be determining the rest of your life. So I did accounting and finance because I'll tell you why. Because there is a market for it. There is a demand for it. I will get hired immediately after I leave college. That was the reasons. And also, finally, the other reason is my dad wanted me to be an accountant. Did I have dreams of my own? No. And for 8 years, ladies and gentlemen, for 8 years, I was doing finance and accounting. 8 years. Can you imagine 8 years doing something that you're not supposed to be doing? And I knew it. I knew it from day one when I was in 3 different banks. And I'm telling you, people would look at my life and they're like, wow, Maryam, you have a beautiful cars, amazing jewelry. You can travel wherever you want. Your bank account is growing. But there was no fire. I'm not even excited. I hated driving to work every single morning. I hated facing the traffic in the evening. I was waiting for the weekends. And I hated Sundays. In Dubai, we start our week on Sundays. I hated Sundays and I love Thursday. In UAE, we say Hala bil Khamis. Welcome, welcome Thursday. Because I had no purpose. I had no purpose at all. And then the day I found my purpose was September 4th of 2015. For some of you guys, it will be July 11th of 2021. For those who will be choosing to be with us next week. When I found my purpose, when I did find my purpose, I made the shift. I found all the answers, passion, gifts, and values, and pay. I found them all. And what was the result, ladies and gentlemen? I shifted from finance and accounting to learning and development. One of the most courageous decisions of my life. One of the most courageous decisions of my life was to do that. Within 6 months, I got promoted twice when I was working in corporate at that time. Not only that, I opened my training center that we have an office right now at Emirates Towers, where the Prime Minister's office is in Dubai. You see, I have a purpose. I wish if I have known Danny before, he would tell me more about the strategy. Because here's the thing, finding your purpose is one thing, living it, something else. It's a totally different story. So take what just Danny told you today about what happens when you actually have a strategy. You have a strategy, you're clear, you're focused, and you can actually bridge the gaps. And when you find your purpose, you know exactly if this is the thing that you are supposed to be doing with your life or not.
So let me ask you this, Maryam.
Please.
When it comes to like, because you have people that they have 9 to 5s,
Yeah.
you know, they're working a 9 to 5, and
Yeah.
you know, you have, like I mentioned, you have those salespeople, which I feel are a different breed, okay, and then you have business owners, entrepreneurs, right? So how important is it? Because we all know the strategy needs to be there in
Yes.
order for them to really like hit success fast.
Love it.
How important is it for them to know their purpose? And can you explain what ends up happening when, let's say, if you're, you know, let's just touch those 3 areas. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're a 9 to 5 worker,
Yeah.
or, you know, you're an employee of a company.
Yeah.
You're like you said, you're going in the job.
Yeah.
How important is it to know your purpose there? How important is it to know your purpose when it pertaining to sales?
Yeah.
And then how important is it to know your purpose when you have a business, when you're starting a business, when you've been doing business for a
Yes.
while? Because we all know those people that have businesses for a while and they're just stuck.
100%.
Why is that?
Okay, great. So basically, as we mentioned, finding your purpose is one thing. Living your purpose is a totally different story. So this is where strategy comes in. Going back to your point, these different segmentations, you mentioned salespeople, you mentioned people who are working from 9 to 5, and entrepreneurs. Here is the thing. When you find your purpose, something else happens immediately. Immediately. You set the right goals. You set the right goals for yourself. Purpose is one thing. Goals is a totally different game. Goals is a totally different game. Totally. So I'll give you an example. When I was in finance, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a CPA. I think it was called the CPA. It's a big goal. It's a huge goal. But it's not my goal because I don't even know what my purpose is. I start putting goals left, right, and center, and I have no idea which one I'm just banging literally my head on the walls because I don't know what I want to do with my life. Oh, I'm in finance. Okay, I hate my job. Oh my God, I need to get another certification for me to do better in this. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. I know people who are passionate about finance. They went for it. They were amazing. So when you're talking about these different segments, Danny, like people who are working from 9 to 5, sales or entrepreneurs, if you don't believe in the thing that you are doing, you will not survive. Say you are working from 9 to 5, okay? Let's say you are working in engineering, okay? You are an engineer, okay? You're an engineer. You are very passionate about the work that you are doing. Awesome, well done. Here you're gonna be finding different ways to live that purpose. To be an engineer, not only in your own job. How can you utilize that in every other aspect of your life? For people who are in sales, if you don't believe in the product, you will not sell it. If you don't believe that this product will help someone become better at something, you will not sell it. This is something we learned from, learned from some of the sales training. When you go to Cardone's office, the reason I was very impressed to see them selling their product is how much they believe it's gonna work. When they come to you, they don't come to you and tell you about the product they want you to buy. They come to you and ask you, what do you want? How can they help? And when they show you the programs that they have, they show you the programs that they have with the intentionality of helping you. Of helping you actually go after the thing that you need. I know why many salespeople don't do it right, because they don't go ahead and we call this process fact finding. You don't go ahead and find the facts. What does your people actually need? This customer or this client or whoever's coming into my space, what do they actually need? So, and it becomes greedy. It becomes about you. If you're doing your business for you, for your own benefit, you don't care about the rest of the world. You care in sales, you only cares about commission. You will not go far. You will not go far. You will not go far. It's going to be a matter of time until you start retreating. Purpose is about helping others, guys. And when you help others, you help them with the right strategy, with the correct strategy. Because when you don't have a purpose, you're going to come up with a strategy, but is it really your strategy or someone else's strategy? Is it your life or is it someone else's life? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. For entrepreneurs, that's why you see a lot of entrepreneurs failing, because they don't even like what they're doing. I know this guy in Dubai. He opened a specialty coffee shop. He doesn't even drink coffee. He hates coffee. I'm like, why did you open it? My cousin opened this coffee shop. I also want to open it. Guess what? His cousin succeeded. He didn't succeed. It was a matter of 1 year until he closed his business. If you go with the intentionality of only making money and not giving people an experience, and you don't even like the thing that you do, if you don't like the thing that you do, be it an entrepreneur, an employee, in sales, in whatever industry you are in, if you don't have the heart of service to help people, you will not go far. You will not go far. You'll make money, but it will be until a certain period of time that you'll be like, you know what, I need to do something bigger. John C. Maxwell says, once you taste significance, success will not satisfy. Success is about you. Significance is about other. So Bottom line, for you to find the right strategy for you, and this gentleman here is your guy. For you to find the right strategy, you have to know your purpose. You have to have that fire, that drive, that calling, that thing that gets you up, waking up in the morning without an alarm clock. This is how you know you have a purpose. You don't need the alarm anymore. You are so excited about waking up every single morning because you have a purpose to live. That's my answer. Sorry, that was a short, long answer for
No. You're loading them up with content. How many of you guys liking this so far?
How many guys are you guys learning something from us today?
And ladies and gentlemen, how many of you are liking this so far? Drop a 1. Or you want us to stop? We can hit the stop button.
We can. I'm telling you, we can. This is the easiest thing we can do. Go ahead.
Okay. I want to make sure you guys are getting a lot of value out of this. It's so important. I can't stress you enough. I mean, what she's talking about, when it comes to purpose, having that fire, we're doing this workshop for the simple fact that we want to help you guys get the key, which is what she always talks about. Get that key, okay, to be able to unlock the door to your success.
100%.
Okay. In order to have that key, you need these 2 things. You need to have the fire and you need to have the strategy. If you don't have that fire inside of you, you're not going to have fuel. If you don't have the strategy, you're not going to have a map.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I touched on clarity, focus, and filling gaps, which is speed. Okay. Which is speed. I mean, we could touch on this even further, right? So I'm gonna answer the same thing that she did. Just I'm gonna flip it onto the strategy side, right? So you're an entrepreneur. Let's start with employees, right? People that are working 9 to 5s. Another reason why a lot of you get stuck is because, again, you don't have a strategy to get to where it is that you want to be. Whether it's a higher role in a position of the company, whether it's exiting out of the company you're in and going into a higher paying company, whether it's acquiring certain skills that you need to have, because I don't believe in experience. I believe in skills. Experience is what gets you to where you are. Skills is what takes you further. You know how many times, like I mentioned earlier, I got a consulting firm. I launched a company earlier this year in the private equity space with a partner of mine. And then my other partner, we're in acquisitions where we buy companies. Okay. So we'll buy mid-market industrial companies and then we scale them, right? We implement strategy in order to build these companies up. But do you have any idea how many times we come across the employees that are there that are just sick and tired of being there because they're stuck?
Yeah.
They look at the clock when it's 4:45, because here in the US, because we're doing this globally. So here in the US, which I'm sure you guys can relate, when you have people that work 9 to 5, they're looking at the clock, 10 minutes to go at my job. All right, let me start getting ready. Let me start getting ready for this, especially on Friday. Friday comes along. It's like, oh man, what am I going to do for the weekend? Let me start packing my stuff. Like, you're so ready to leave 10 minutes before. Then you have the people who know their strategy, know what they want, and have that fire inside of them. They're looking at that clock completely different.
Yes.
They're like,
yes,
how much can I get done? Because I only have 10 minutes left.
Or they start working, or they keep working that late.
Right. Or they work late. Right. But for the 9 to 5s, the 9 to 5 workers, they're looking at it where it's like, how much more can I get done? Because I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
So how much more can I get done? It's just the switch in mindset.
Yeah.
Because you know what it is you need to do in order to get to where it is that you want to be at. So if your goal is to make 6 figures, you know what you have to do to hit those targets, to hit those goals. You know what goals to set, and you know what targets to set, and you know the strategy behind it in order to be able to crush the targets and crush the goals. Imagine if you knew, imagine if I told you if you were to walk a straight line from where it is that you're at now, you were to walk across the street and come back, and you were able to do that within a minute, I give you $100,000. How many of you would try to do that in as short a time as possible? You know why? Because you know how to do that.
Mhm.
You know how to walk. You know how to walk across the street, and you know how to come back.
100%.
And you know how to do that so well that you'll run doing that. And you're probably going to run the fastest than you've ever ran before, because it's going to be the easiest $100,000 that you've ever made.
Fact.
And in your mind, while I'm counting down, telling you, hey, all right, we're going to get started. You have 10 seconds to get ready, and we're going to get going. In those 10 seconds, you're going to be strategizing how fast you're going to be able to do it and what you need to do so you can get across the street and back in the fastest time frame possible. What do I need to do? Do I need to wear shoes? Do I need to not wear shoes? Do I need to tie my shoes tighter? You're going to start strategizing. You're going to start thinking about it, putting it all together.
Yeah.
And when that happens, I guarantee you're going to beat the time. That's because you have that solid strategy. You have that solid idea. You have the solid understanding. You know what you're going to get by doing X, Y, and Z. That's the importance of having the strategy.
100%. And
Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, just to add something here. Like again, when we talk also about, like, for example, the goals and how strategy is related to it. The example that he just gave you about going across the street and knowing how to go across the street. It's again, these are small goals. Any goal that you know how to get there is a small goal. If you know how to get to the goal, it is a small goal. It is not even close to any of your potential. But when your goals are so big, so massive, you might not know the how, but you will figure it out because you'll find someone who can help you with the strategy. Because here's the thing, this is the biggest thing, this is the biggest mistake I've done in my life. I was not asking for help and mentorship. I'll figure everything on my own. Oh, really? How was this going on for you? That's why it's very important to know where you are getting your mentorship from. That's why we like hanging around people like Grant and Brandon Dawson and all those amazing people. Why? Because they get us information that maybe we needed 20, 30 years to get. Danny, why people like to go ahead and get consultation from him? Because he has years of experience that will save people years and years and years of trying to know something. So again, when you have big goals, don't try to figure it out on your own. You should find a strategy. You should know exactly what you want. You should know exactly where you are heading with this. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I mean, you cleared that part up.
Okay, great, awesome.
So
Yeah.
moving on to now I want to touch on the next group of people, which are salespeople. Okay. You have the strategy of what it is you need to do to hit your goals. That's how you do $1 million in sales in a month, like Dave Robards did.
Yes. Yes.
That's how you hit that. And for all the people who say that's difficult, it doesn't matter if it's difficult or not. He just showed you it could be done.
100%.
He just showed you it could be done. So you don't look at it like, oh man, that's very hard. You look at it like, well, if he did it, I could do it. I just need to know how.
100%.
But that's where the goals come into play. That's where the targets come into play. But then the strategy is, how am I going to get there? And then I need that fuel to be able to fire me up every single day, because I'm going to get discouraged.
Yeah.
I'm going to get discouraged. I'm going to have my bad days. I'm going to have arguments with my spouse or, a person I'm in a relationship with, or a friend or a family member.
Yeah.
But without that purpose, without that fire inside of me, I'm going to allow those distractions to get in the way of where it is that I need to be at.
100%.
And it's just going to slow me down.
100%.
Now, Dave was very focused. He was laser focused. That's how he was able to do that.
Yes.
He was so focused. He wasn't worried about any distractions. He did exactly everything that he needed to do. He knew how he was going to do it. He knew how he was going to get it done. And he did it.
Yep.
And he broke a record.
He did.
And now that he knows that he's capable of doing that, I guarantee you he does it again. I guarantee you he does it again.
And he can also teach this to someone else, you know?
Yep.
He has the credibility to do it. For example, if someone doesn't know Dave Roberts, like I can teach you how to maximize your sales, increase your sales 30% by next month. Oh, really? What makes you think that? Well, I had made $1 million in sale last month. So it gives you credibility. So how can you teach something that you didn't prove that you can actually do yourself? You know, and that's the beauty of, again, going after mentors. You know, he has this call every single Sunday, right? Sorry, Monday, the sales
Yeah,
team,
on Mondays.
Right? On Mondays, every single with the Cardone team. Go learn from those who have done it. Don't start to even when you find your purpose again. You find your purpose. You put the right goals. Yes, you put the right goals. 10x goals. There's a question here. How is it, we relate this to your 10x goals? Find your purpose. Put your goals. Or you're gonna be putting 10x goals, but they're not gonna be yours. It's gonna be someone else's 10x goal, not yours. But when you know your purpose, you know the 10x goal, the right strategy comes in. The right strategy comes in. Because you can have a 10x goal, but it's not your goal. It's not your fire. Like when I was in finance. I had these big dreams with finance, but it's not my thing. Please go ahead. Sorry.
No. I mean, look, let
Keep
me tell you
Yeah.
this. Let me relate this before I even touch on the third one, which was entrepreneurs and business owners. So when I was boxing in my boxing career, right? 18 years I was doing this. This is what I did for a living. This is not like I laugh a little bit inside when people come up to me and they say, oh, I used to box, and they just did it for like on the side.
Yeah.
This is what I did for a living. Okay. Since I was 17 years old, I did it for 18 years. Every single day I'd go to the gym. I trained 3 times a day. Okay. I had morning workouts with my trainer, and we were in camp. Okay. So it'd be a group of us, everybody in camp. They were all fighting, you know, whether it was on Showtime, HBO, pay-per-view, you know, Fox, you name it. That's, and they were fighting for world titles. They were either current world champions, going to be future world champions, or they were already champion before, and they were just fighting to get their title back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But all of these guys were ranked number 2, number 1, number 3 in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5 in the world, number 10 in the world. Okay. And, you know, we worked so hard. I mean, 3-hour workouts. Okay. 3-hour training sessions. It wasn't even a workout. Like we were intense 3-hour training sessions. Now, what Maryam comes in on the purpose side of it, this is what people don't understand about that sport in particular. I can't tell you about other sports, but I can tell you about that sport.
Mm.
When it comes to that sport, we like to say this: it's 80% mental, 20% physical.
Wow, I didn't know that.
You could be in the best shape in the world, but when you get in that square circle, the shirt comes off and it's just you and the guy in front of you. Your team leaves and it's just you two, and that bell rings. You better have some fire inside of you. Because you don't have the fire inside of you, it's going to be a very nasty night for you. It's going to be a very nasty night for you. You might just end up waking up in the dressing room because not remembering what the hell happened, and they're having to remind you, hey, you know, you've been out for about 3 minutes. You got knocked out. Okay. And that's because you weren't clear. Again, you could have the strategy. You could walk in there with the strategy. I know what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to either adapt. So you have 2 types. of fighters. You have the ones that adapt as they're moving. Like I'm sure you guys are familiar with Floyd Mayweather, for everybody is. Okay, like Floyd Mayweather, where he adapts, right? Then you have other fighters where they like to just understand a little bit about their opponent so they could plan what they plan on doing. I didn't really like doing that because things change.
Yeah.
I was more on the adaptive side of it. I like to be able to react. But I could tell you, again, it's the 80% mental part of it that did it. That's why you see a lot of fighters at the end, they'll break down, they'll cry, because we put so much into it. And then when you dig deeper into the life of a fighter, you have a lot of fans that they have that connection with them because they see the journey, they see the emotion. It's an emotional roller coaster. Okay. That's the importance of having that fire in you. Now, when you transition that into your life, whether it be business, whether it be your career, whether it be relationship, whether it be whatever the case is, without that fire, you have nothing. This is what she teaches. This is what she helps you find. This is what she helps you understand more of. I'm just highlighting the importance of it. She could teach you how to find it. She could teach you how to put it to use. She could teach you how to amplify it. Without it, you're lost.
Yeah.
And you're not lost because you know where you're going to go, because you have the strategy. I can help you find a strategy. I do this for companies. This is what my company does. We go into a business, we lift the hood up on the business, and I start pinpointing, okay, your employee is this, you need to switch this department, you need to do this, how's your marketing going? Okay, you know what, this is what we need to do on the marketing campaign, because there's different types of marketing campaigns for different reasons, for different purposes. Okay, so we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. All right, what's preventing you from getting to this number? I'll go in there and I just start dissecting and pulling everything, right? But when we start hitting the go button and we press play, if there's no like reason behind there, this department's not going to perform at its top performance.
100%.
This department's not going to perform at its top performance. The business owner isn't going to have or feel like showing up or doing certain things. I'm talking about big companies. Now, that's with departments on big companies.
Yeah.
Now, shrink that down, because here's where we're going to touch in the entrepreneur and business owner.
Yeah.
Shrink that down, and now you're a solopreneur. A lot of things are relying on you. Sales, marketing, you're wearing different hats. In order to get from the different hats to the point where you could start handing the hats to different people, you got to have clarity.
100%.
You got to have that fire.
100%.
You got to have all of that inside of you to go. Otherwise, you're going to wake up late. You're going to want to finish early. You're not going to feel like doing certain things. You're not going to feel like doing the hard things. You're going to get lazy. And then you're going to say, oh, this industry and this customer. And now you're going to start blaming everybody else instead of the one thing that the most successful people have as far as traits: taking accountability and taking responsibility.
Yeah.
It's up
100%.
to you.
Yeah.
You want to make $1 million? It's up to you. It's up to you. I tell people all the time, you want to make 10 million? I'll help you do it. You want to make $1 million? I'll help you do it. You want to make 20 million? I'll help you do it. You got a business, you want to blow it up and you want to scale it up. You want to hit 50, 100 million? Let's roll. We can help you do it. But if you don't have the reason, the purpose inside of there, you're never going to make it. Think of the biggest companies in the world: Apple, Amazon. Okay, who else? GM, General Motors.
Yeah.
All right, we could throw Walmart in there,
Facebook.
Facebook, Google. All these guys, they have a purpose for the business. There's a reason why they started the company.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why they keep wanting to add more to the business. Listen, Facebook could have started the way that it did, and it could have stayed the way that it did.
100%.
I don't know how many of you guys remember when Facebook first started. It was very plain.
Yeah.
It didn't have, like, we're streaming right now on Facebook.
Yeah.
It didn't have this feature
Yeah.
back in 2011.
Yeah.
Okay. 2011, 2010.
Yeah. Nothing.
2009, 2008.
Nothing.
We're talking about when it opened up and MySpace was still around.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, okay. Like, it didn't have these features like it has now.
Yeah.
You know, this whole chat feature and everything like that. Yeah, it had the chat feature, but it didn't have it to the way that it is now. You couldn't share, you couldn't have different ways that you could attach different things. They did that for purpose. Their purpose was so deep that they thought so far ahead that every time it was just like, okay, we can add this, we can add that, we can add this, we can add that. You know what? Here's another thing we can add. You know what? Here's another thing that we can add. You know what? Here's another thing that we can add. And that's because they're so laser focused. They have those blinders on, like I said in the beginning, those blinders.
Yeah.
Without those blinders, they wouldn't have made it this far. Guarantee it. Because there's so many companies that were trying to compete, just like with Uber. When Uber first started, you had, I think it was like 6 companies that were doing the same thing. You had Sidecar in California. You had a few other different types of companies. The only 2 that made it was Uber and Lyft.
Yes.
And Uber is still number 1.
Yes.
It all started for a reason behind doing it, and he stuck to the reason, but the reason was so deep enough into solving such a large problem that they felt was there. And they saw that was there. They saw they could capitalize on. And that's what she explains, the purpose behind it. Without that, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Without that, you're working a 9 to 5, you're going to get tired, you're going to get overworked, which is what they call overworked. Okay? You're going to retire and you're going to be unhappy. Because there's a lot of people that happens to. I'm going to throw one more thing, and then I want to ask Maryam some more questions to help you guys understand this a little bit better. Then we're going to open up for Q&A for the people on the back channel on Zoom. But you know, I don't think you guys really understand. Maybe you do. Okay, maybe you do. The people that hit the highest level of health issues, the point in their life that they hit it the most is when they retire.
How many of you know someone like that?
The moment that, it's amazing the way it works.
Yes.
The moment they retire, boom, I got this pain. I got that pain. I need this medication. I need this. I need that. I need this.
Yeah.
And it's because their body, their mind is so used to moving and working and working and working. And then you pull the plug and it's just like, okay, now we're not working. Now we're not thinking. Now we're not doing this. All right. Now I'm going to show you this hurts, that hurts, this hurts, that hurts. Now you're going to have to go to the doctor. Now you're going to have to increase your insurance. Now you're going to have to do all this stuff, right? Imagine if you were at the point where you didn't necessarily have to retire, but you didn't have to work as hard because you made it that far. Kind of like Warren Buffett, for example.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett still works.
Yep.
And he loves what he does.
Yep.
And he's 80 something years old. And he's worth 80 billion. And he still works. And he's still moving. And he still has the momentum. Because he knows his purpose.
He knows his purpose. Yep, he does.
Grant Cardone, we're right across the street from him. He's right across the street. You know how many times I left the office and I've seen his car there 7:30 at night?
Yeah.
He's on the phone. This is stuff you guys don't see. He's on the phone selling $25 books all the way to doing hundreds of millions of dollars of deals. He's got a jet. He's got 2 helicopters. He's got all the stuff that he has. He doesn't have to do that. He's constantly trying to create ways to what?
To add value and live his purpose.
His purpose is to help people. That's what my purpose has been. Maryam's going to just now explain to you hers. Without this, you know, it's you're stuck.
Yeah, you are.
All of you guys that showed up, I really hope this is resonating with you. I really hope that you guys, I mean, my goal is at least if I hit 1 or 2 people, I know for Maryam it's the same. Maybe we hit all of you. Maybe this is stuff that you guys already know.
Yeah.
Maybe this is stuff that you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to be reminded.
100%. 100%.
This is why we need accountability partners. We have so much going on in our lives. We get distracted. We're human. We're not perfect. When you know your purpose, you know the strategy, your only direction is straight. And with that purpose, you got rocket fuel, like I said.
I like that you mentioned rocket fuel. I'm gonna be using this more often. This is not only fuel, like
Go ahead.
purpose will fuel you. It's rocket fuel. I like this. I'm gonna start saying it more often. Yeah, I mean, guys, like here is the thing. People who don't, I always say, you don't have a purpose, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have a life. Grant said in one of his quotes, and I think it's in the 10x rule, or be obsessed or be average. I don't remember one of them. He says some people, unfortunately, are dead at the age of 25, but they have not made it official until the age of 80. Let me say it one more time. Some people are dead at the age of 25, but they didn't make it official until the age of 80 because they don't have a purpose. They don't know what they've been created for. Like when you see how laser focused he is, how laser focused I am on my goals, how Grant, John Maxwell, all those big people who you know, and Warren Buffett, all these organizations, Facebook, whatever organization and individuals, you see them killing it, know that they have a purpose. This is not an accident. Finding your purpose or knowing your purpose is not luck. It's intentional. You know, you might find your purpose by luck, but living it with a strategy is intentional. You wake up every single day with intentionality of living your purpose. That's what you do. That's what you do. And this is why not many people actually understand this. It's just the thing, okay, I found my purpose. What do I do now? Go ahead and take action. What? I'm like, exactly. Do you think it's like a fluffy thing to have? Oh my God, I found my purpose. You know, I see Aisha, for example. I see Aisha and Taiba here. There are 2 of the ladies who actually found their purpose. Their life is not the same now because they are taking action. Some people find their purpose and they go back to their old life. I'll give you the different stages really quickly. This is what we're going to be covering in more details next week. There are 6 stages of people and purpose. Group number 1, the group from the minute they are born until the minute they die, they have no idea what purpose is. They don't know. So what do? Nothing. And then group number 2. Number 2 is the group that hears about purpose. Maybe some of people here, maybe on Facebook and Instagram or YouTube, whatever we're streaming this on. You hear about purpose. You hear me talking about purpose for years. What do? Nothing. And then you have a group number 3. A group number 3 is the group that goes ahead and knows about purpose. They start reading some books, they go to seminars, they watch a YouTube video, and then what do? Nothing. And then you have a group number 4, the group that actually start going into a journey to find their purpose. Halfway through the journey, you know what happens to them? They quit. They stop. They don't want to do it anymore. Why? Because they are scared of whatever they're going to be finding on the other side. So these are the quitters. The group number 5 is the group that goes all in. They found their purpose. They know the statement. They know the different goals and how they can do it. And what is the rest? What do they do after that? They found their purpose. What do? Nothing. Nothing. They know it. They know it and they do nothing. And then the last group is group number 6, is the courageous one. It is the group that goes after their purpose. It's 5%. It's 5%. Because now you find your purpose, you know what it is, you are living it. It means that you have to come up with a strategy, right? To go ahead and live that purpose. Maybe it means that you guys need to change your career. Maybe it means to go ahead and study something else. Maybe it means that you go educate yourself about something that you didn't know before. And it's only 5%, guys. 5% who actually choose to go after that. I wanted to add that, Danny.
So what do you feel that so you know what, let's talk about the workshop, and we're gonna stop the live on the social media end of it, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna go straight into the Zoom. But
Yeah.
like real quick, just so people have a good understanding, what is it that you're gonna be able to help them uncover
During the workshop?
during that workshop?
Yeah, there will be 4 things during the workshop.
First off,
Go
how
ahead.
many of you guys got value from this?
How many of you guys learned something today? Yeah, I would love to know. Also on different social media platforms. Was this helpful, guys? Did you guys learn something? Did you guys get something out of me and Danny today? See? 100% sure. Okay, good. Love to see that. Thank you, guys. What about you on Instagram? You guys have been sticking around. Come join us on the webinar because we're going to be stopping the stream in a second. Great. Thank you guys for that. Thank you. Awesome says he got some value. Great. So what's going to happen next workshop? And I need to also jump because we need to go ahead and answer a few questions here. Is the following. Number 1, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to help you understand the difference between purpose and goals. And if you guys mix them up all the time, I'm going to be changing my slides now to rocket fuel. Okay? So that's number 1. You're going to understand the difference between purpose and goals. And then
Before we do this, let me, I'm going to utilize this,
go ahead.
and I want to show them something.
Go ahead.
Okay, can you, how well can you see if I was to do this?
I think you can. I mean, you can just write and yeah. I mean, let's see.
I want to see, because I like this little thing.
I don't know if they can hear you though. Can you guys hear Danny?
It's okay. You can hear me, right? I could yell and raise my voice and all of this stuff. So look, all right. This is you. All right. All right.
Yeah.
What you need to understand in order to get where you want to go. Okay. This is what's the thing for health? I think it's this.
Okay.
Okay, health. What else is important? Like you guys drop in the chat. What else is important to you? Finances, health. What else? Relationships. Okay.
Spirituality.
Okay. What's the we'll just do spiritual.
Whatever.
Spiritual.
Yeah, spirituality.
Okay.
Family. Again, that's goes to relationships.
That's relationships.
Yeah. Let's see. People keep saying relationships, income, community.
Okay. Community.
Community.
Okay. So you have health, finance, spiritual, relationships, and your community. Okay. This is you. This is where you want to be at. Okay. You're either going to know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
You're going to want to know exactly what it is that you want.
Yeah.
This is the line that you need.
Yeah.
How do you get there? And how do you get there fast?
That's the key. Yeah. How to get there fast?
I don't want to get there. I'm going to put lines here. Okay. I can get there in 1 year. I can get there in 3 years. I could get there in 5 years. I could get there in 10 years.
Yeah.
And then so forth.
Yeah, actually, they cannot really see the board, so
Okay, we're gonna do this.
see, I need to step a little bit.
No, you're fine. I'm gonna move the board here.
Okay.
Because I like this board.
Oh, you do. We almost broke it there, though.
Okay,
You got this. Okay.
all right. Can they see it now?
I think it looks perfect now. Yeah. It's all
Okay.
right.
All right. So look. This is what I want. This is where I am. This is the line of how I'm gonna get to where it is I want to be at. I either know this or I don't.
Yes. Oh, that's for sure.
This is my strategy. This is my strategy line. And this is the speed. Okay. I know there's a lot of mess here. I'm going to explain it in a minute. Here I am. This is what I want. I either know what I want.
Yeah.
I know where I am. But I just don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people, a lot of you guys, you know what you want. You just don't know where you are.
Yes. 100%. My
I
God.
could be on a journey. I could be on a journey. Like I said, I'm on that road trip, right? I could be on that road trip and I could be wanting to get to New York. Or let's say I'm at sea, because let's just make it a little easier, right? I'm on a boat. If I don't have that map, I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
I might be 2 islands down away from my destination, but I wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of you guys are maybe at the tipping point of hitting what it is that you want. You just don't know how to get there and you don't even know it. And then you have so many people that give up, and you have so many people that quit. You guys ever seen that meme? I'm sure a lot of people have. You guys ever saw that meme where there's 2 guys, it's a guy on top and a guy on the bottom, and they're mining,
Yeah.
and they're mining for diamonds.
Yeah.
And the one guy, he's walking away and he only had 2 more swings, and you have the guy on top and he had all the gold there. Yeah, he had all the diamonds there. He had the biggest diamond there. And then you got the guy on top and he's still going, and he has the smallest one.
Yes.
The one on the bottom was walking away and quitting when he only had 2 more swings to go. Can you imagine if he knew what was there? Can you imagine if somebody told him, hey, listen, after 100 swings, you're going to hit all the diamonds. He's going to count every single swing.
100%. 100%.
He's going to count every single swing because the firepower is him getting the diamonds. That's his purpose. The purpose is I'm going to get the diamonds, but then what am I going to use
The
when I get the
dinosaur.
diamonds?
Yeah.
What am I going to use them for? The strategy is I'm going to do this to get the diamonds. And when I get the diamonds, I'm going to do this because I know what I'm going to do it for. But you see, the strategy has to connect. The strategy has to connect. I have to know how I'm going to get here. Then my purpose is the amount of firepower that I have. That rocket fuel, okay? That rocket fuel, it's a terrible rocket, but that rocket fuel,
Yeah.
okay? I want to shoot up. I want to shoot up to where I want to go to. I could get there in 1 year. I could get there in 3 years. I could get there in 5 years. Or I could get there in 10 years. I don't want to wait 10 years to get to what I want to be, to where I want to be at, where I have the potential to be at. A lot of you guys are thinking in your mind, you're like, I want to do this. What happens if you had the potential to do more?
Oof. Oof.
You're selling yourself short. You have the potential to do more, but no, I'm going to do this. Without the strategy, you're not going anywhere. Without the purpose, you're not moving. You're starting a car with no gas. You have no gas in the tank. All right, I'm ready to go. I know how I'm going to get there. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to You're stuck.
Yeah.
And then what are you driving? Are you driving a bike? Are you driving a Ferrari? Or even better, are you in a jet?
Even better, yeah.
Because a jet, how many of you guys will agree? A jet is going to get you where you want to be a lot faster than riding a bike or riding rollerblades.
Yeah.
Or walking. I want to get here fast. I need a plan and I need that purpose. Like I said, it could take me 1 year, it could take me 3 years, it could take me 5 years, it could take me 10 years. I don't want to wait 10 years to get to where I want to be at. I want to wait I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait.
I just want it now.
I want to work. And when I work, I want to get it as fast as possible. That's why you need strategy. That's why you need purpose. And that's why you guys need to sign up for the workshop.
100%.
Because we're not going to talk about all the importance of this. We're going to talk about the way that you're going to get it. She's going to talk to you about how you're going to, I'm going to shut up. She's going to, because I don't know this stuff. She knows this. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to just sit here with my notepad. Okay. I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to write notes. I know my purpose, but I'm still writing notes. Why am I writing notes? Because she knows her stuff. But when it comes to strategy, that's why I'm going to go in deep.
Yes.
And we're going to teach you.
Yeah.
Even if you know your purpose, we're going to teach you how to use it.
Yeah.
She's going to teach you how to use it.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of you guys have shown up to her courses and like, oh, I found my purpose. I found my purpose. I'm done. No, 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 no. You found it. What are you going to do with it?
100%.
What are you going to do with it? So many of you on here, like I said, you have business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, okay, salespeople, and employees. Those are the only people there are. Well, then you have the people that are either retired or stay at home, parents, or okay. So let's even throw that in a category. What's your purpose? You're a stay-at-home mom. There's a lot more than being a stay-at-home mom.
100%.
I know you want a lot more.
100%.
There's a lot more you can do.
That's for sure.
Your relationship can be a lot stronger than it is. That's why I said this ties in everywhere. We're not only talking about finances. We're not only talking about mindset. We're not only talking about health. We're talking about everything. That's the reason why you need purpose.
Yeah.
Strategy is going to get you there faster. I'm sorry. Strategy is going to get you there. Purpose is going to get you there faster. Now, how many of you guys understand this better and want to sign up? Or you guys want to end this?
I like that. I mean, I like the drawing over there. For sure.
With my stick figures and
You're
my
fine.
terrible,
You're
I used to draw really good.
No, you're fine. We got the point. That's
This is
what
horrible.
matters. That's what matters. So, guys, here is the thing about purpose. It's if you feel it deep inside you that you say, I know what my purpose is, you will be confidently writing it down in the chat or whatever platform you are joining us from. Your purpose is not only your career. It's not only your family. It is not only that. Your purpose is with you even before you had none of this, before you had your career, before you had your family, before any of this. Before any of this, you already had your purpose with you. But again, as we said at the beginning, purpose is not something you discover, it's something you find. It's not something you discover again, it's something you find. Okay? So if you guys feel like it's a calling, you need a purpose. Not only that, not only you want to find your purpose, you want to go ahead and get the right strategy behind it. We got you guys. We're here to help those who want to help themselves. You can, or you're going to be part of category 2. The group that hear about purpose and do nothing. And by the end of the day, Daniel, it's a personal choice. But again, if you want to get there faster and you want to get there like, sorry, I wrote something very profound just now you just mentioned. If you want to get there faster and you want to get there like now, you want to know how to do it right now, not in 20 years, we're here. So we're going to see you guys on the 10th and 11th of July.
Yep. So I want you guys to sign up. Those of you on social media, we're going to get ready to log off. If for those of you that are in the Zoom, hang tight. We're going to end this and we're going to go in. We're going to open this up for Q&A. We'll do a little bit of Q&A with you guys. And then we're going to, and then-
says I cannot find the link to this. I'm like, check your junk mail.
yeah, check your junk mail. We'll add you. If you're already registered, then just sit tight and we'll bring you in. And then, like I said, we'll open up for Q&As. We got a few people on, we got quite a few people on Zoom. And like I said, remember when you go on DannyCalafell.com/purpose, that's DannyCalafell.com/purpose. When you scroll all the way down, skip the registration part because you already registered. All you're going to do is go to the pay link. You're going to pay and we'll send you all the updates and everything like that for the 10th and the 11th. It's a 2-day event and we're diving deep on this. So it's not a 1 day. Okay. We're not doing this like we're doing this right now. We're going in deep. So you're going to bring out notepads. We're going to have a workbook. We're going to really get this going for you because our goal is by the end of this year for you to be at least somewhat close to where it is that you want to be at.
100%.
Okay. And being able to understand your potential because that's what it really comes down to. I have the potential to hit 10 million. I'll make $1 million by the end of this year. If that's your goal, we want to help you do that. You're not going to get it without strategy. You're definitely not going to get it without knowing your purpose and the reason why you're doing it and having the fuel behind you.
100%.
All right. So guys on social media, we're getting ready to log off.
Yeah, guys, come join us here. You have the website here, DannyCalafell.com/purpose. Come join us if you want to be in the backstage here. If you guys have any more questions for us, thank you for joining us today.
You guys sit tight on social media. Thank you guys for showing up and joining us on, sit tight guys on Zoom. Don't go anywhere. But you guys on social media, we appreciate you guys showing up and doing this for you. I mean, we gave you an hour and 40 minutes of information. I hope you guys actually do something with this. I really do. The biggest thing for me is just seeing as many people succeed as possible. And it just breaks my heart when I see certain people that I know they have the potential to do a lot more and they don't. So that being said, like I said, you guys on Zoom, sit tight. Guys on social media, thank you for tuning in. And I hope to see you. And she hopes to see you. Tell them on the 10th and 11th.
10th and 11th of July. I'm telling you, July 11th is the day you find your purpose for those who actually are serious about it. And you're going to find the second most important day.
Yep. See you guys then.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.